In the heart of Ifetedo village, surrounded by lush greenery and warm, inviting homes, lived a young woman named Tosin. She was known for her beauty, innocence, and gentle spirit, with long flowing hair that gleamed like the sun and a smile that could light up the darkest day. Tosin was cherished by everyone in the village. Her laughter echoed through the streets, bringing joy to all who heard it. Although Tosin and her family lived in the village, but they were very rich and they lived a life of comfort and had all that luxury can afford. A comfortable mansion, maids, chef, driver. Tosin's father, Chief Olawale, was a respected businessman in the community, known for his fair dealings and generous heart. One morning, he was in the comfort of his study, going over some important paperwork. "Good morning, Papa," said Tosin as she stepped into the room, her voice melodic. "Good morning, Tosin. Bring me a glass of chilled juice. I will be right here," he replied, looking up briefly from his desk. As Tosin got up to fill his request, she thought about her boyfriend, a hardworking young man named Damilare. Known for his kindness and generosity, his heart was just as golden as the morning sun, and he and Tosin shared a bond that grew stronger by the day. Every time they meet under the orange tree, 2 houses from Tosin's house, most times he would pass through Tosin's house intentionally when Tosin and her father are outside the house, and they would often greet like strangers so as not to make Tosin's dad suspicious. "Good morning, Damilare," Tosin would often greet him as he walked past their house, her eyes dancing with mischief. "Good morning, Tosin. How are you today?" he replied, a smile stretching across his face. As the two shared a brief exchange filled with unspoken words and glances, Chief Olawale, observing the interaction curiously, would clear his throat and disrupt the conversation. Tosin is a Year 4 university student at Landmark University, Umuaran, but she lives off campus and drives to school every day, or sometimes their driver drops her off in school. "Papa, are you ready for a family meeting later? We should discuss about the upcoming village festival." "Yes, my daughter, but first, please make sure everything is set for our visitors. I have a few important matters to attend to," Chief Olawale said, going towards the kitchen. As Damilare and Tosin met under the orange tree that day, he couldn't shake the feelings he had for her. "Tosin," he started hesitantly, "you know I care for you a lot." "Tosin, my love," he murmured under his breath, but the words never found their way out of his mouth. "Damilare, what's wrong? You look deep in thought," Tosin asked, reading the expression on his face. "Nothing, my dear. Just thinking about the future," he admitted quietly, "and how life might be if I was rich." Tosin sensed the weight of his feelings and offered a gentle smile. "You are so much more than that, Damilare. You are my best friend and my support." Meanwhile, in another part of the village, a different tension loomed. "Mama, I can't wait to tell you about my relationship with Tosin," Damilare said to his mother, who was preparing dinner. "Damilare, it's lovely that you care for her, but you must remember her family status," his mother replied cautiously. "Chief Olawale is respected, and the expectations that come with his name hold weight." "I know, Mama," Damilare said, determination bleeding into his voice. I just have to gather the courage. I can't lose her. Back at Chief Olawale's house, the atmosphere changed when the news that the chief was in dire need of financial support reached him. His business, once thriving, faced significant challenges, putting their home and future at risk. "Chief, we need to act quickly," one of the elders advised, his brows heavy with concern. "There's a proposal on the table that could save your family's legacy." "What kind of proposal?" Chief Olawale asked, sensing the gravity of the situation. "They are suggesting that your daughter Tosin should marry into a wealthy family. It might be the only way to secure the finances." "Absolutely not," Chief Olawale protested, his heart aching at the thought. "Tosin deserves to marry out of love, not necessity." "Time is of the essence, Chief. If we do not act, everything you've built could be lost," the village elder pressed. In the depth of the night, Damilare wrestled with his thoughts. How can I convince Tosin to choose our love over the expectations of her father? He wondered, desperately hoping for the right word to cascade from his heart. Meanwhile, at the festival, where laughter filled the air and vibrant colors exploded in celebration, Tosin danced gracefully, her spirit ignited by the joy around her. Amidst the festivities, she could sense the warmth of Damilare's gaze upon her, fueling the fire of their repressed emotions. "Tosin," Damilare whispered later, catching her alone by the riverbank, "you deserve the world. But I fear your father has other plans for you. Together we can change our fates." With a renewed sense of determination, Tosin knew she needed to share her secret with her father. But she also recognized the immense pressure both he and she were under. The weight of love, expectation, and family loomed heavily. "Damilare, let's promise to speak our truth to those who matter," she said, her voice trembling yet fierce. "Even if it's hard, we must be brave." And so, their story unfolded, knitted by threads of friendship, love, and an urgency to confront the challenges ahead, all under the watchful eyes of the community in Ethiopia village. "You cannot do this to me. No matter what happens, I will not marry Toby," she exclaimed, her eyes ablaze with frustration as she paced the room. For Tosin, the thought of being wed to someone she did not love was an unbearable weight on her heart. "Papa loves me dearly. He will surely listen to reason." Just then, her phone buzzed, and she saw it was Damilare calling. What should I say to him? She wondered, her heart conflicted. "Hello, Damilare, how are you?" she answered, trying to keep her voice steady. "Hey, Tosin, I'm good. Have you spoken to your father about us?" Damilare asked, his voice laced with anticipation and concern. "Not yet. My father is busy talking to his friend," she replied, glancing throughout the door that led to her father's study. "Tosin, I cannot wait any longer. I love you so much. Please try to talk to your dad as soon as you can," he urged, his voice tense. "I will, Damilare, I promise. See you soon," she said before ending the call, her heart a fluttering mix of hope and anxiety. Meanwhile, in the chief's study, Chief Olawale was engaged in serious conversation with his longtime friend, Mr. Enitan, who had come from the city for a visit. "How is your son doing?" Chief Olawale asked, offering refreshments. "He is well, thank you. I feel lucky that he's starting to think about building a family," Mr. Enitan said, pride evident in his tone. "Speaking of families, I have a proposal. My son has taken a liking to your daughter, Tosin. I believe she will be a wonderful match for him." Chief Olawale raised an eyebrow. "Which of your sons, oh? Is it Tobi or Tope?" "Tobi is a fine young man now and is doing well in Lagos," Mr. Enitan replied enthusiastically. "What do you think, Olawale? They would get along splendidly. They should meet tomorrow," he suggested. "That sounds like a good plan," Chief Olawale said. "Tosin, please come," he called, facing the direction of our room. Just then, Tosin entered. "Papa, did you call for me?" "Tosin, my dear, we have a good news for you," Chief Olawale said with a smile. "Good news? What do you mean, Papa?" she asked, her voice filled with curiosity. "My friend's son, Tobi. You remember Tobi now? You two used to play together when you were little. He likes you and wants to marry you," Chief Olawale said. Mr. Enitan chimed in. "You will be meeting Tobi tomorrow. I believe you two would make a good couple, and I know it will make you very happy." Tosin hesitated, unsure how to express her thoughts. "I need to talk to you about something important, Papa," she finally managed. She left them looking so sad and confused. Later that night, Tosin found the courage to approach her father. "Papa," she began, her heart racing, "I don't want to marry Tobi." "Why not, my daughter? He is from an esteemed family and you know this. They are our family friend and you know I know them very well," Chief Olawale responded, confusion dancing in his eyes. "Because I love someone else," Tosin declared, desperation creeping into her tone. "Who is this boy?" her father asked, looking surprised. "His name is Damilare. We studied together and he adores me," she confessed, her heart pounding as she spoke her truth. Chief Olawale sighed, shaking his head. "Does he have a job? A stable future to provide for you?" "He works hard, Papa. His mother has her own business," Tosin pleaded, her loyalty to Damilare shining through her words. "Fine, we will meet him tomorrow as well. I want to ensure you are making the right choice." Chief Olawale relented, frustrated yet willing to hear her out. "Thank you, Papa. I promise you, you will see how wonderful he is," Tosin said, clapping her hands together. "Good night, Tosin," Chief Olawale said, his mind still heavy with the weight of his daughter's words. The next morning, as sunlight streamed through the windows, Tosin was filled with both anxiety and hope. Damilare arrived at her home looking handsome yet visibly nervous. Tosin greeted him with a warm smile and they shared a knowing look before stepping inside. "Tosin, you look so beautiful today," Damilare said, taking a moment to admire her beauty. "Thank you. I just hope my father will see how much I love you," she replied softly when Chief Olawale entered the room and could not believe what he saw. "Is this not the boy that I used to see around the house every time?" he thought to himself. Damilare stood tall, determination etched in his features. "Good morning, sir," he said, bowing slightly to acknowledge the man whose approval was vital to his success and future. "Tosin has told me about you, Damilare. I must ask, how do you want to take care of my daughter?" Chief Olawale inquired, studying the young man closely. "I'm a student in University of Ekiti now, sir, working hard to graduate soon. My mother runs a retail business in town," Damilare replied, his voice steady despite the tension hanging in the air. "Tell me more about this business," Chief Olawale encouraged, wanting to know if this young man could indeed provide for Tosin. "It's a small but thriving business, sir," Damilare explained. Damilare knew he needed to prove himself worthy of Tosin's love in front of her father. "Sir," he began, turning to Chief Olawale with all the courage he could muster, "I love your daughter dearly and will do everything in my power to keep her happy." However, the moment of revelation came when Chief Olawale looked firmly at Damilare, then shifted his gaze to Toby. "I'm sorry to say, but you cannot marry my daughter," he declared, his voice authoritative. The room fell silent. Damilare's heart raised, brimming with a mix of desperation and determination as he stared at Tosin. Tosin at this point had started to cry. "Excuse me, sir," Damilare began, his voice steady despite the tension surrounding him. "No, Damilare, you cannot marry my daughter," Chief Olawale declared, his tone finer as he gestured for him to leave. "Papa, why are you doing this? I love Damilare," Tosin pleaded, crying, her eyes wide with desperation and innocence. "Sweetheart, I know what is best for you," Chief Olawale replied, his voice softening for a moment only to harden again. "It's time to go to your room. I don't want to discuss this further." "No way, Papa. I will not leave. I love Damilare," Tosin cried, her determination overpowering her fear. "Chief, please, I love your daughter. I will take care of her," Damilare implored, ensuring his sincerity was evident. "Damilare, I don't want to hear it. You may leave," Chief Olawale responded, his gaze unwavering. "Tosin, please, we can talk later. Your father needs time to process this," Damilare suggested, trying to find a way to ease the tension. "Why, Papa? Why did you do this?" Tosin said, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Damilare is not like what you think." "My darling, I love you too much to let you make a mistake. Damilare is not good enough for you," Chief Olawale asserted. "How can you say that?" Tosin shot back. "How do you even know him?" "I asked about his family from his mother," her father replied with conviction. "He is not who you think he is." Damilare's heart sank. "What have you found out about my family?" he thought. Meanwhile, prior to the meeting, Chief Olawale already suspected that Damilare was the man that Tosin wanted to meet, so he called a man who runs background checks for him to ask him to give him information about this boy and his family. Hello, it's me, he said, picking up the phone. I need you to gather information about Damilare. Sure, Chief, the voice on the other end confirmed. Few minutes later, he called him back. His father is dead and his mother's name is Abike. She runs a small fabric business, he instructed. I need the full details. Got it, sir. I'll report back in 15 minutes. Soon after, the informant called back. Chief, you will not believe this, but Damilare's mother is poor. Even her fabric business is not thriving and they could hardly pay their bills, and even went on to tell him how they are in debt. So I feel he is up to something and his intention for your daughter might not be genuine. Just as I suspected, Chief Olawale said, a sense of vindication washing over him. He's after your property, Tosin. You can't trust him. After Chief Olawale told them all about the background check, the room was silent until Tosin spoke. But I love him, irrespective of their financial status, she cried out, the fight in her voice slowly fading. That's why you must be with Toby. He's arriving this evening and you must be nice to him, her father insisted, his tone finer. As the evening descended, the tension loomed thick in the air. When the doorbell rang, Tosin's heart raced. This can't be happening, she thought, glancing from her father to Damilare's pleading expression. Mr. Eniton arrived with his son, Toby, who entered the room with an air of confidence. Tosin, how lovely to see you again, he greeted, a charming smile on his face. Hello, Toby, Tosin replied, her heart sinking as she recalled the engagement her father had discussed. After pleasantries were exchanged, the atmosphere grew tense at the Eniton household just before they set out to Chief Olawale's house. Mr. Eniton spoke with Toby. We need to make this work. Our families could become powerful and more wealthy, he declared. You've got to impress Chief Olawale if you want to win Tosin's heart, Mr. Eniton told his son. Damilare confided in his mother during a fragile moment at home. Mama, there's no way I'm giving up on Tosin. Son, you must understand. Love is beautiful, but it doesn't feed the stomach or pay the bills, she advised. She's from a wealthy family and you are not. I can't hide my feelings, he replied, tears welling in his eyes. If only I were rich. Love needs care and trust, not just money, his mother reminded him, her voice soothing. Suddenly, Tosin called Damilare, her heart pounding. Damilare, are you there? I can't stop thinking about us. Tosin, my love, what's going on? I've been worried, he said, his voice filled with urgency. You lied to me about your financial status, she accused, her voice quaking. I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you. I love you. That's what matters, Damilare exclaimed, frustration mingling with love. If you truly love me, then we have to get out of here, she whispered, determination rising in her heart. You are right. We have to run away together, he said, hope igniting between them. I'll be at your house in 20 minutes for a court wedding. We can start our life together. What if my father finds out? Tosin questioned anxiously. He loves you too much to oppose your happiness. This is our chance, Damilare urged passionately. Heart pounding and mind racing, Tosin replied, Okay, I'm in. I'll meet you outside in 20 minutes. I can't marry someone else. Tears ran down her cheeks as she made the decision. I can't live like this any longer. I have to leave this house. Tosin got dressed and sneaked through the back door of the house and met Damilare, and they both went to the court in the village and got married secretly. And just when she was about to sneak back inside the house, her father was waiting for her in the living room. Tosin, why are you wearing that dress? Why are you dressed in a beautiful white dress like a bride? Chief Olawale asked, confused and concerned. I'm so sorry, Papa. I had to do this. You left me no choice, Tosin replied, feeling a wave of sadness wash over her. Damilare is my husband now. What? You got married? Her father shouted, disbelief etched on his face. Yes, I got married to Damilare. He is my husband, Tosin declared boldly, standing by her decision. What madness is this? Why didn't you tell us before? How could you do this? I warned you against this boy, but you wouldn't listen. Chief Olawale's voice trembled with betrayal. I know you won't approve it, Papa. I'm really sorry. You left me no choice. Tosin pleaded, tears streaming down her cheeks. Don't be angry, please. Damilare and I love each other. Tosin, how could you do this to us? I disown you from now on, and I don't want you in my house, her father said, his voice thick with disappointment. You've insulted me in front of everyone. I know I made a mistake, but please don't be upset. Just forgive me, she cried, her heart breaking. Why are we still here? You should leave my house to your husband's house this minute, and anything you see there, don't come running back, Chief Olawale said, his voice cold and distant. Papa, I can't live without you. Please talk to me. You know I love you, Tosin begged desperately. That emotional drama won't change anything, Tosin. The decision has been made, her father replied sharply. You are now married to him. Oh God, help me. Why did I do this? I should have listened to you, Papa. Tosin's head spun with regret. Tosin, why didn't you believe me? Chief Olawale accused. I told you everything about him was off. I know, Dad. I was foolish to run away. I thought my love for Damilare would overcome everything, Tosin admitted, her voice breaking. Damilare and his mom, with other close friends, were in the house watching, and they didn't know what to do. They love each other. Can't you see that? Damilare's mother interjected. Shut up your mouth. I don't know you, and you have no place in this conversation, Chief Olawale shouted back, fuming with anger. Papa, please. Damilare loves me, and I love him. Why can't you just forgive us and approve of our union? Tosin cried desperately, desperation leaking into her voice. Enough! I don't want to hear another word, Chief Olawale backed, his face hardening. Go be with your husband. I disinherit you, Tosin.